What's up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. I'm here with my co-host, Heather C. So I Love a Mama's Boy, Season 3, Episode 4 has aired. So first things first, Roberto, Nancy, and Christy were not on this episode, so we do not know what's going on with the status of their DNA test. And I don't mean the actual, paternity of it, whether or not Christy's actually going to have to go through with it. That's what I'm really wondering. So we're going to have to check in next week and see how that goes. We did get to revisit Trey and Lorinda, right? So we all remember that Lorinda has a special birthday. It is on Valentine's Day. And Abby has always been left out of the celebration. So Abby decided to go ahead and get Lorinda a present, which she got from the boutique where she works, which was really nice. I think it was a nice, kind gesture. She even met up with her at her mom's tea shop and gave it to her. But during the time of giving her the present, she decided to ask her to step back and stop coming over as much. And that kind of rubbed Lorinda the wrong way. And I feel like, well, Abby feels like as well that Lorinda returned the present and exchanged it for something else, which was more expensive as retaliation. She wouldn't tell her that she offended her, but she said, well, since you offended me, you're going to also buy me a new pair of jeans.
I think this situation was kind of crazy because it's almost like she got her a gift because it was her birthday, but it was almost kind of like not just like, hey, it's your birthday gift, but it's kind of like, here's your birthday gift. Now this is what you're going to do for me type of thing. Like, it had a motive attached to it, whether it being that she wants more one-on-one time, with her son, or if like she wanted her to back off, it had something attached to it. And I think the fact that like her wanting to return it, I mean, you're not gonna like everything that people get you, but it was kind of like rude because it made her feel some type of way. So you could tell it was kind of like, well, you hurt my feelings, so now let me hurt yours. But I don't know any of them personally, but the shirt that she picked out for her did not look like something that she would wear. So I don't know. I mean, I know sometimes when you gift people things, you do stuff that you like with hopes that they would like it as well. But sometimes you have to think outside the box and actually think of the person, because I could tell that wasn't her style. It was more of the style of the person who bought the gift than that is receiving it. So I don't know. This situation is just,
well,
it's a hot
also
mess.
Lorinda feels that she can't step back and be less involved because Abby won't step up. And she said that in the previous episodes as well. She feels like Abby isn't doing enough. She's not cleaning the house enough. She's not cooking enough. She's not doing the things that she thinks Trey expects.
But that's
And I
none of
think
her business. She's not in a relationship. I mean, if he was so bothered by what's happening in his house, then he needs to be a man and say something. That's not his mom's job nor business to decide or put in her 2 cents what Abby is doing and what she's not doing. Obviously, he likes something about her enough to be with her. So even if they lived in a pigsty, the mom don't have to agree with it. But if he had a problem with it, he needs to be the one to talk to Abby, not her.
all right, so I want to jump over and talk about Emily and Shakib. So we go with them on a home decor shopping trip, and they're shopping for antiques to go in their new home. And Shakib uses this as a opportunity to bring Emily up to speed with the situation with Yusra. And I'm not exactly sure if any time would have been a good time to say, hey, by the way, my mom set me up with this girl to go out and meet her and get to know her. So I was going to say this was a bad time, but I don't think any time would have been a good time. And Emily reacted the way any normal girlfriend would, out of shock and anger and disgust that your boyfriend would go out on a date, not just a date, but a date with someone that Layla handpicked for him to go out. And in previous seasons, this is not the first time that Layla has handpicked a girl for Shakib to go out with while he was in a relationship. So at this point, Emily feels that Layla is back to her old games. She made it seem as though that they were on the same page in the house, and she said that they were going to try to work it out. and then this is where they ended up. So what do you think is going to happen? Because Emily has taken the advice of her friend Jessica to meet Yusra and get to know her, because friends close, enemies closer. So how do you feel like this situation is going to play out?
I feel like this whole situation was done backwards. I mean, they've already been to the point where she sat down with Layla and they came to an agreement, and she said, thanks for coming to my house, thanks for blessing it or whatever. So I think that this was done out of order. Because for her to be like, I think Layla's up to her old tricks, this was done before they talked.
That's
so
true.
I don't think that it's more so her being up to her own tricks, as though this is just how Layla has always felt about Emily. It doesn't matter what Emily does, she doesn't want her to be with Shakib. I mean, it's obvious. She said it numerous times. And as far as Shakib telling her now, I think that the best and only time that he should have told her was right after it happened. The fact that all this time went by and he just now decided to tell her, especially while they were shopping, I think that would make her mad even more, because first of all, it looked like it was trying to be hidden.
Right.
So it kind of looks like a lot of deceit. And even though he didn't mean it to be that way, he just wanted his mom to come over, and he was trying to make his mom happy. By him not telling Emily, he knew it was wrong. So I think that he should have told her either as it was happening, before it happened, right after it happened, not while they're decor shopping.
Well, if you do something and you can't tell the person you're with what you're doing, it's always been a rule of thumb for me, you probably shouldn't be doing it. If you have to keep it a secret, or you have to find the right time to break it to them, you probably shouldn't be doing it. And unfortunately, it's already been done. And now we're going to actually watch next week as Emily meets Yusra and Shakib, and it appears that they were at the gym together, which is something that Emily explicitly told them not to do in the home decor store. She said, do not go on any other dates with her, and do not meet up with her or do anything else with her. And it appears that she finds them at the gym together, which is even more deceitful.
Keeps digging himself in there.
All right, guys, that's it for part one. We're going to come back with part two and talk about Brittany and Matt's first sleepover date, and there was an ATV and the destruction of a bush. So we're going to explain all of that in part two. I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Heather C. This is the I Love a Mama's Boy Season 3, Episode 4 podcast, part one. Thanks for joining us. Live tweet with us every Sunday night. And we'll talk to you all really soon.